bringing on Five and Chaz to talk about what it will take to bring Bojan Bogdanovic to the Pelicans. Let's get into the show.
First took away. That's the dish. Get your money's worth.
All right, Chaz and Five. I mean, coming right off surgery, back into the mix. Hope all is well, brother. It's always good to see you. Let's get into it. So I put out a tweet today about Bojan Bogdanovic and being a perfect fit for the Pelicans. I do like Bojan and Chaz. We'll start with you first. He is on an expiring contract, $19 million he gets paid this year. What would it take, do you think? What would it look like to get Bojan Bogdanovic to New Orleans?
I think you'd have to do at least Graham, of course, for salary matching purposes. Potentially Kyra. I think Kyra's at what, like maybe 3 million, 4 million. And maybe Jax. I think they can take, by them being having salary cap space, I think they can take back more salary. So I think you can visualize the Utah Jazz talking themselves into Jaxson Hayes as the future, potentially Kyra as a contributor. Reunite Jax with Nah. They just got rid of Gobert. They're in the market for a big man. You know, they're clearly a tanking, rebuilding team. I also think they might want some draft compensation. The reason I say that is because Bojan is expiring. So right. You look at a team like Atlanta, who's always trying to get cap space, especially now, or a team like just any team with just cap issues who are looking to alleviate some of that going into the future. You don't want to pay luxury tax. I think you can see him go there. It's just hard to get to that 20 million, that 19.5. That's a lot of money to get to.
So Jax gets $6 million, Kyra gets $4 million, and then you have Devontae Graham $5 million with $11 million contract somewhere along those lines. That's probably how you get there to match salary. But let's salary aside, does Bojan Bogdanovic make this team better, Five? And why does he make this team better?
It's legit. Yeah, he's a legit shooter. Like I think he had a couple of games where he hit us for at least 30 plus.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was that one game where he just didn't miss. I think I was actually at that game. It just he's an NBA player. He's again, he fits the mold of what the Pelicans want, right? European, right? 6'7". He can actually shoot it. So like he fits what we would want. I mean, probably not the greatest defender, but he can defend, right? Even in team defensive purposes. Hell, he probably fit on any NBA team at this point, right? You know,
right. 100%. And I'm glad you brought up defense because Five, that's like one knock, right? That you get a lot of feedback on. It's like, well, he can't defend. So I did some research and I'm like, defensive rating wise, this is who he's actually better than. So we've talked about Harrison Barnes on the Pelicans. He's better defensive rating. He's better than Harrison Barnes, Buddy Hield, CJ McCollum, De'Aaron Fox, like Zach LaVine, Devontae Graham, who would probably be in the trade. So like I mean, if we're really going to like nitpick this whole thing, he's not this bad of a defender. And we already have two of them on our roster right there. So to say he's not a great defender, I think is a lazy take in my opinion. And I don't think it would be that big of a difference. What I do like is he started 60-something plus games this year, 70-something plus games the previous year. He's basically, to say it nicely, I don't think Zion's going to play 82 games. So he's a plug and play guy. So if Zion does go out for a week or two or needs rest or whatever, you don't have this dramatic drop off. And I think you can plug him in there. And then Chaz, a lot of people have been talking about, well, whose minutes is he going to take? Well, I don't necessarily think that's, I mean, looking at it, I mean, would you rather Jaxson at the 4? Or would you rather Bogdanovic at the 4?
I think there's several guys who we kind of penciled in for playing significant minutes. And truthfully, I see several scenarios where they aren't closing games or they might not be the best fit for certain matchups. I see a lot of times where Larry Nance just isn't playing because you don't need him to play. Because I think Trey is going to be in that position. I think you're going to need offense because this team is not going to be good defensively. Like, I think the best bet is to try to be, 15 to 20. Like, if you can be league average, a decent defensive team, I think you'll be fine. But I think to lean into your strengths would be the best practice. Like, just lean into the offense. Be like the Houston Rockets. You got Mike D'Antoni. Be like that hardened Rockets teams where you just outscoring everybody. You all offense. Be like the old Phoenix Suns, because again, as long as you got JV, CJ, and Zion on the court together, it don't matter that Bojan's on the court. Your defense is not going to be good anyway. Like, so even if he was a great defender, it still wouldn't matter. So I think people kind of overthinking it. Just let's lean into your strengths. This team needs offense. You just saw the number one defense or number 2 defense in the league get beat because they couldn't generate offense against the Warriors. The superior team got beaten because when they went cold offensively, the defense didn't matter. So you gotta lean into your strength. Like, go get some offense, man. Go get some offense.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it 5 this offseason. We wanted to get better offensively, and when we say better offensively, better shooting. You've been on record multiple times saying that the Pelicans, and you could do this comparison where the Celtics hit 23s multiple times in the playoffs, and the Pelicans did it once this year. Well, if you get Bogdanovic, he's a legit sniper. Like, you can't leave him in corners, wings, top of the key, does not matter. New Orleans finished 27th in the league at a 33.3% clip, which is, bottom of the barrel. 5, you talk about it all the time. He's a 3-point shooter. He makes a lot of threes. That's what this team needs.
There were some points we would make, less than 5 threes a game. That's an issue.
Not an over-exaggeration.
That's not an over-exaggeration. Like, we need to be able to shoot. I have this shirt, it says, "I survived Fred Vinson's shooting camp." I hope to one day actually survive a shooting camp. I hope the team, survives this shooting camp, because we can't shoot. There's a ton of shooters out there. If we were able to get Bojan on this team, like, he wouldn't even need to talk to Fred. He would be able to just do it on his own, and people will be able to follow. If we get to the range where we can make, 10 to 12 threes, hell, if we just made 8 threes per game last year, 8 threes, we probably would have been a 6 seed, to be honest. We were just that bad from 3. And as Chaz even was alluding to earlier, if we just became better offensively, the Boston Celtics, they couldn't generate any offense against a team like Golden State, where they turned the ball over a ton of times and they couldn't generate offense. Just being able to put the ball in the bucket is a luxury, and we need that. And just being competent on defense, we don't know what we're going to be looking at when the season starts.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's this like terrible defensively. I mean,
he's not. With
the
Utah,
I mean, but he's not gonna like hurt you. He's not as bad as, like, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but like CJ McCollum. I mean, he's not that bad.
No, what the Utah Jazz are doing, like, they play defense like they play offense. If this makes any sense, their goal was just to run you off the 3-point line. He's good at rotating and running you off the 3-point line. And that's what we do. That's what we should be doing here in New Orleans, like running people off the 3-point line, making them shoot layups or making them shoot 2-pointers, contested 2-pointers, rather than, catch and shoot threes. And we were a bottom tier 3-point defending team. So
also,
there it is too.
He's a transitional piece. This isn't some guy you about to bring on for 5 years. Isn't Bogdanovic like 37 or something like that now?
He's 33, I believe.
Damn, he looks 37, but
yeah, he's 33 years old, but he's been in the league for 8+ years.
Oh wow, he was born into the league. But yeah, like this is a transitional player. He's on the expire, and he's gonna, if you're not a contender, he's gonna go sign with a contender next year. Use this man to help you be a top 6 team. The play-in is not an option. You're going to need offense to be a top 6 team. It's an arms race right now. You really can't afford to turn your nose up at someone because of his defensive liabilities. Like, that's not the position we're in. We don't have that luxury. Like, oh, he's not going to fit the defensive culture. What defensive culture?
there is no defensive culture. Go find it.
Yeah,
No, exactly. We don't have that yet. Defense is not our calling card. Yeah, we have good individual defender, one being Herb. Like, we have, individual, but team defense, we're not that great at it.
No.
We were starting to become decent at it, but we're not that great defensively as a team. And that's what we want. Just want to be competent defenders. If we can do that, man, we definitely have a shot to be a top 6 team.
Right. And let's get back to this point. I'll start with you, Five. Are we paying Jaxson Hayes? Are you like after this year? Do you think the Pelicans are going to re-up with Jaxson Hayes?
I don't know. I mean, I want to. I'll be honest, man. I want to. If Jaxson just would understand a proper role, if he just said, "Hey, I can play the 4, but you need to play the 5." If you just change like his defensive or his basketball IQ, if you can just increase that, like, hey, your goals out here is also to rim run, block shots. Don't try to block every shot, but block shots, contest every shot, catch alley oops, offensive rebounds. Jaxson has never like had double digits in rebound. Like he doesn't have like averages of double digit rebounding. That's an issue being 7 foot. You're 7 feet tall and you can't average double digits. Larry Nance had a couple games where he had 10 plus rebounds. And don't even get me started on Josh. Like that's all about IQ. And if you can increase that, like Jaxson would easily get paid. But the fact that he hasn't done that in the last 3 years, again, Chaz even alluded to this in his hot take. Like if Jaxson was in a better position or maybe with a better team, maybe he would be doing this already. But we haven't seen it from him. And part of it is him, and part of it's the team.
Chaz, you expect the Pelicans to pay Jaxson Hayes?
Well, I think if there isn't a market for Jaxson, I could see him becoming a restricted free agency and the Pelicans potentially matching a reasonable deal. I think they'll let him explore restricted free agency if they can't find a solid deal for him because, the trade market is broken right now. That shit is dead. Thanks, Dimps. It's broken. So, ultimately, I would like to see Jax stick around because I do think Jax can develop those skill sets. I would just like to see the developmental system surrounding Jax do a better job at nurturing because it's their job to break through to these guys. You can't assume that these guys are going to be these mature players coming in. This dude's he's a rich kid coming into the league. He's entitled. You saw how he was when he didn't make like the rookie team. Like clearly you need a special type of talent to reach a Jaxson Hayes. But even if we did hold on to him in relation to Bojan, I really don't see it necessarily being an issue because I don't think it's necessarily Jaxson or Bojan. I think it's Jaxson, Nance, Murphy, Bojan. I think that's more of the pairing you'll see. I don't really think it's either. I think you can play Jaxson and Bojan together. And I think that would be a dynamic offense on the floor versus, again, with Larry or another guy who only does one thing well. If he's not doing that one thing, he really doesn't do anything else.
I was just about to bring that lineup up. If you could get Jax 5, if you could get him to 5, I'm not asking 20, 25 minutes to bang around these big boys, but like if you could get them in spurts in that second unit and Jax at the 5 with Bojan at the 4, give Zion some rest, and then you have Trey Murphy and whoever you want to do, Herb Jones, Jose Alvarado, CJ McCollum, etc. They're interchangeable. Brandon Ingram. That 5-4 dynamic where Jax can switch on to basically anybody, and same with Bojan, that's dangerous. And I'm not taking anything away from Larry Nance. It's just Bojan, in my opinion, gives you more offensively than Larry Nance. Chaz, last point here. Or 5, go ahead, sorry.
No, I'm saying even Bojan's a smart basketball player too. It's not like you're losing intellectually as well. Like you're just adding another smart basketball player to the mix to teach Trey Murphy, yo, these are how you're going to, this is also another way for you to get shots. Bojan's like, 6'7", 6'8"?
6'7".
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So another taller person that's really a 3-and-D type player. Oh, you can get these shots like this too. Oh, this is the area you want to play off of. Because he's been playing off Donovan Mitchell for the last, 4 years at least. Oh, you can create these shots. So it all works. And if Jaxson just hey man, wrap your mind about you playing the 5, bro. You will be a double-digit millionaire, like easily.
Easy.
Yeah.
But
Easy.
you just have to just play the 5, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think he will. I really don't think he will. He doesn't.
It's just that it's just not a sexy position anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and you got a guy like AD who was like, I refuse to do this. So it's already a precedent being set to where players just don't want to do that. But I just hope it doesn't turn into a John Collins situation where you re-sign a guy for all this money just because he like, I really didn't want this guy to be here, but the team did well and I have to pay him versus risk losing him for nothing, right? But with Bojan, again, I think you have to look at he's not necessarily a ceiling raiser, but he is a floor raiser. He is a floor raiser. You do have to take into account there will be some injuries throughout the season, sadly. You got a guy like Trey who you hope to grow in his vein somewhat. And also, again, man, if you don't get him, someone else is going to get him. Like a contender is going to get him. So you're playing defense by default. You have to prevent teams that are on your level or maybe a little above you getting better. Like you saw Golden State go get Devchenko. You saw Michael, they just got Jermichael Green.
Celtics got Gallinari. I mean,
Celtics got Gallinari. Like,
they're just adding to their depth, and that's what I keep trying to preach to people. It's great to have Zion Williamson back, but in reality, I'm not expecting Zion, Brandon, or CJ to play 82 games. Now, Bojan's not going to replace CJ in the lineup, but what I'm just saying, what I like about Bojan is that he's a plug-and-play guy, 1.
Right.
2, he's a hell of a shooter. 3, he's a high IQ basketball player. And 4, he's got experience and he's durable. Am I going to say this guy's here for the next 6 years? No. But at the same time, we've talked about winning now and building a deeper roster, in my opinion. I think this guy is gettable. And who knows? If it doesn't work out, he's gone. Like, it is what it is. Like, okay, we lose Jaxson. It sucks. But at the end of the day, sooner or later, you're going to have to take risks because you're not going to be able to sign everybody back.
Also, and the last point I want to say as it pertains to Bojan's defense, because I remember Monty used to say this, and I know Coach Green is like, he's in that Monty, under that Monty umbrella. There comes a point where you have to stop being the team that when you say shit like, oh, when people come here, they know they're going to be in for a fight. I don't want to be that team no more. I want to be the team that when people come here, they know they're going to get ran off the court. They're going to get their asses kicked. I don't care about them being in for a tough night. Because you can be a tough fighter and get your ass kicked all the time. Like, but he put up a good fight. Like, no, I want to win. I don't care about that. I don't care about these vanity metrics. I want to win. Like, well, we almost got him. No, fuck that. Get a guy who's going to give you 9, 12 points off the bench.
I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, like I'm saying, in a limited role off the bench, he can give you about easily 12 points. Easy. And then he's coming from a winning organization. He already knows how to shoot. So it's too many pros, man. It's too many pros to get in a guy like that.
5, go ahead.
What more do you want? We've been talking about shooting for like the last 3 or 4 years. Like, what? Probably even more than that. We need shooting. We thought that was going to be JJ Redick. Turned out he had the worst year of his life. Like
Niccolo Melli.
Man, look. And it's like we don't need one person to shoot. We need multiple shooters. We were that bad in the shooting category. And you know what shooters do? They know when other people like to shoot. So it has the opposite effect that we need because we can't guard the 3-point line either. So we need both. We need it all. So competent basketball player, put him on my team, please. Yep. If we can, take the risk.
Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to go.
I'm saying this. I think we talk about this a lot. People think like we're gonna have this great team for 4 to 5 years, and like woo, like no, this is the window. Try to win now. Don't wait. Like, oh, maybe we're gonna get it. No. Win now.
I completely agree. My final remark about this is I remember when Zion played with the Pelicans a while ago, but there was a Celtics game when we were down 20-something in the third, and Stan Van Gundy kept playing Steven Adams, and finally He subbed Nicole Melli in, who couldn't shoot, but he was a threat to shoot, right? And then that opened up the floor for Zion Williamson. Now imagine adding a Bojan Bogdanovic with a Zion Williamson and a Trey Murphy and a CJ McCollum and a Brandon Ingram. And now you can surround this guy with shooters. But we all know, I mean, the Bucks finally looked at in the mirror and like, Giannis is a freak. We need to get shooters around him. Income, all these shoot. I mean, I know Middleton can shoot it. Drew could shoot it. Connington can shoot it. I mean, Brooke Lopez can shoot it. Bobby Portis can shoot it. You got to surround Zion with shooting. Defensively, figure it out. 1 through 5, switch it. We'll figure that out. But offensively, he makes you a lot better. 5, Chaz, presented to you by Company Burger and DraftKings. 5, glad to see you. Chaz, as always, you can follow him at Hot Takes. By the way, 5, I wanted to point this out. Incredible article you wrote today. If you haven't checked it out, please make sure to go check it out. It's on Buku Media's website. It's on Jarrett's Twitter page as well. And that was a really, really well-written article. So I want to make sure to point that out. But thanks for tuning in. If you like it, I messed this one up again. 5, like and subscribe and share to the channel. I guess I'm doing that in the beginning of the video. But y'all take care. See y'all later.